I want to thank my family, my amazing husband, my parents who are somewhere in the crowd. I want to thank my staff who's been amazing, the volunteers who came out through heat and pouring rain and labyrinth-like construction and all the things we deal with here in Michigan in our summer construction season. And I want to thank the voters. I think it is, whether you voted for me or not, across the district, the fact that people have come out in record numbers is honestly the most positive thing we can all take from tonight. Because people are engaged, because they care about what happens in their community and in their country, and that is how we're going to make change. That is how we're going to do it. We met over a year ago. We had coffee together, and we both agreed that having a strong competitive primary makes us better as candidates. It makes us better as a democracy. And I couldn't be more proud to be sitting up with him when we had our debates. And I've just always respected that he got in this race. It is a very hard thing to do, to run for office for the first time. And so while I'm thrilled to be here, I want to reach out my hand to him and to his supporters. And I ask everyone I really believe very much that we need to be about unity. We need to be reaching out to people in our own party. We need to be reaching out to people across the aisle, right? We need to be doing that hard thing of acting first and reaching out. And so I very much hope to earn everyone's vote in this election, whether you didn't vote for me in the primary or we're coming up in the general. So now let's talk a little bit about the general election, right? So I think, when I think about why I started running a year ago, we sat around a kitchen table, there were a handful of us, and we knew that you cannot change the U.S. Congress unless you change who you send there. It's just not possible. We need a new generation of leaders who work harder, who think bigger, and who never actually forget that they are public servants. And some of them table, we are now an organization of over 1,000 volunteers. We knocked and made calls on 40,000 people in the run-up to the primary. We have 3 offices open and a satellite, a 4th one. We have an organization that is disciplined and that is dedicated. And there is nothing more important than that community member, that neighbor, knocking on the door of their neighbor and saying, hey, I want to talk to you about the possibility that we could vote someone in who's better than what we have. And that is how we do this. I can be a perfectly fine candidate, but without everyone here and everyone watching, we cannot get this done. It is truly an old school collective effort. I want to say publicly and sort of issue a challenge to Mr. Bishop. Right? Citizens deserve to have a comparison between the people they are voting for. They have the right to ask questions of their elected representatives. They have the right to press their concerns. So I'm publicly challenging him to 3 debates before Election Day. Right? And I very much look forward to his answer to our challenge. Lastly, you all know that I come from a service background. We have a service family, and we care deeply about our country. And I want to say that in this day and age, the act of working in your community, of engaging your neighbors, of engaging your friends, of caring about what happens in your community. That is an act of patriotism. It is an act of service, of national service. When you reach out an arm to a neighbor who you do not know, and you ask them to engage with you, that is human being, talking to human being, that is national service right now. So I thank you all for your service. It is going to be a sprint to the finish line. We are going to do this, and it is because of all of you that we're going to get it done. So thank you so much.